Among the projects funded and highlighted in the report was the increase in water storage capacity in the communities of Lamaz and Monzi, where there was a chronic problem, completing the work for the implementation of St. Lucia's first agro-tourism park and protected landscape at Fonsejac, and funding the most advanced aquaponics system for the disabled community, which was 60% completed in December 2022. Okay. Impressive achievements were also attained in developing the apiculture industry in St. Lucia. Senior Program Manager and National Coordinator for GEF SGP UNDP is Giles Romulus.
The total investment at the end of 22 was $9.44 million US. For every $1 we invest in St. Lucia, it was attracting $1.54. And that is from the government sources, private sector, bilateral donors, multilateral donors, and so on. That, by any standard, is very good. The income to communities reached $1.12 million at the end of 2022. You will notice 100 persons in 2020 were employed, 90 in 2021, 51 in 2022. And the number of persons trained remained quite high. So GEF Small Grants program, we're not only about the quality of the environment, but also about the social and economic development of our people.
Limia El Tayeb, resident representative UNDP Barbados and Eastern Caribbean, was extremely impressed with the program strategy used in St. Lucia.
One of the most interesting things that you have been able to accomplish in St. Lucia is to not have individualized projects that are small and stand alone, but to have the strategic vision to use every grant to build on the one before it, and to use those building blocks to reach larger goals, to use those individual projects into what I call a portfolio approach. That is the essence of real development. That is the essence of where we need to be today, because all of our issues are interconnected and you need holistic approaches.
Through its country program strategy, GEF SGP lays the basis for project implementation, monitoring and evaluation, and creates a vehicle for developing and maintaining a result-oriented, knowledge-driven and operational program. Minister for Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology and Vocational Training, Honorable Sean Edward, observed that GEF's country program strategy strongly aligns with national planning and development policies and global priorities, including focal areas for biodiversity and climate change.
It would be remiss of me to not say a special thank you to the Global Environment Facility, GEF, for the financial support it has provided to St. Lucia over the last decade, without which few of the achievements to date under the program would have been possible. Notwithstanding the multiplicity of challenges facing our island, we have boldly committed to pursuing a path of sustainable development which will ensure that we put St. Lucians first. We have signed onto several multilateral environmental agreements, all in an effort to combat climate change, prevent and reverse biodiversity loss, and protect our lands by mitigating the impacts of land degradation. Within the last 10 years, St. Lucia also committed to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, thereby agreeing to a global challenge with an action plan that puts people, planet, and prosperity at the heart of national development.
During the event, GEF SGP UNDP formally recognized 3 St. Lucians for their leadership in various projects at the community, national, and regional levels. Richard Matthias and John Shalmine were honored for their work in apiculture, and Sandra Prosper for her work in community sustainable development in Fonsejac. Outgoing members of GEF SGP's National Steering Committee, Everestus Jean-Marie, Rosemary Husbands-Mastrin, and Norma Sherry-Favrier, were given citations and certificates of appreciation for their outstanding volunteer contribution to the SGP over 6 years. The GEF SGP now continues to implement projects in GEF 7 and prepares for another phase of significant investment during GEF 8, which begins in July 2024.